And yes, in hindsight, I wish that had not become law.
I would have done, a regret tour too. I wouldn't want to be closely connected to what's going on. People have been misinformed and have been drinking some Kool-Aid that I don't know where they're mixing it, but it's dangerous.
There's some members of your society that may say, you know what, I don't feel that my liberty should be restricted.
Unfortunately, a lot of this is wrapped up in politics. And because of that, unfortunately, we've seen people die and more people will die because of it until we get our act together and act on one accord, based on science, based on the data, based on public need, and do what we've got to do to protect our people, which, by the way, is the very first fundamental role of government.
Why would we take local control away from mayors and county judges who might have to respond differently in one part of the state than the other to this or any other pandemic?
All I kept thinking was, what's happening here is different than what's happening where you live. How in the world do you think it's okay to vote for something to tie my mayor's hands and my school district's hands from preventing us from protecting our people? And we're all Arkansans, like, what are you doing? So that's kind of what was going through my mind. So I decided to ask.
I asked the legislature to redo the law that prohibited those requirements or those options for the school districts to protect the children. And so it was an error to sign that law. I admit that.
When you really reflect and see how people were manipulated and misinformed online by legislators, and how these issues that are very clear issues around public health, population health, and science has degenerated into political football for people to get and stay in power. And in the midst of it all, people are dying. It was frustrating.
We're here to present HB 1004, which would simply give local school districts the opportunity to determine what's best for their children in their districts.
So there was a woman the next day that came in and literally said that there was no evidence to prove that the COVID-19 virus even exists.
I think we need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves the question, where is the proof that COVID-19 exists?
And all I could think was over 6,200 people in Arkansas and over 600,000 people in the nation. That's not proof enough. I said to one of my colleagues a few weeks ago, I guess we won't really come back here and do anything till it's a legislator's child or grandchild. Then maybe there will be an emergency. And the decision was made, I believe it was on Friday, for a temporary injunction.